Hi everyone, it's Candace Craw-Goldman from quantumhealers.com. Today I want to talk to you about the International Mandela Effect Conference of 2024. It's the 4th annual, and I'm very excited because this year I get to go. And I'm even more excited because this year I've been asked to be a speaker at the event. And I'm so honored and so thrilled to be able to go and meet up with such fantastic people who will be speaking and gathering for this event. And you are invited again, November 7th to 11th in Nashville, Tennessee this year. Won't you join us? So, one of the members of the board members, the founding members of the International Mandela Effect Conference is Cynthia Sue Larson, and she just wrote this book. And if you haven't seen this book, you really need to pick up this book. It is fantastic. If you are interested in all of those things that we are interested in, you will love this book. And one of my favorite parts of this book is, boy, I bet there's 15 pages or so of definitions and concepts that are explained in here. Amazing stuff that you, the person out there who's listening, who's interested in all things spiritual, I know are talking about or are interested in. Things like alternative realities, anchor memories, exceptional human experiences. And if you are a BQH practitioner, you already know what those are. My own talk this year is going to be miracles and the Mandela Effect. This year's topic for the whole conference is focusing on human consciousness, and that makes it even more exciting for me. So this Mandela Effect Conference isn't just talking about the Berenstain Bears or Chick-fil-A, although of course we will talk about all of those things as well because they are a lot of fun. One of my favorite concepts in the Mandela Effect is something called residue. Do you know what residue is? That is when something from another timeline remains in this one. So in this reality that most of us are in right now, the Berenstain Bear is probably the most famous Mandela Effect other than Mandela himself. The Berenstain Bears book is spelled S-T-A-I-N, but apparently there are books out there that people have in their hand where the spelling is the S-T-E-I-N, the one that I remember as the book reading to my children in the 1990s. And I remember having a conversation, a very vivid conversation, with my daughter's 2nd grade teacher about that book. Because I said, Mrs. Rowe, do you pronounce it Berenstain or Berenstain? And she said, that's very interesting. She said, we use the EI pronunciation in their spelling lessons because it's Berenstain, and that is how they talked about using the E and the I in all of the spelling lessons, I guess. So I remember I have such a vivid memory of that. I remember leaning on the door frame of the 2nd grade classroom talking to Mrs. Rowe about that because I've been reading the Berenstain Bears for probably 2 years, and I didn't know how another adult pronounced that name. I actually went downstairs and looked for that book to see if it was one of the ones that survived my children's childhood. And you know what? It didn't survive. It was one of those that was read so much, so often that it fell apart. So I didn't even have an old book to find. But if I would have found one and it would have had S-T-E-I-N, that would have been considered residue. So these are some of the fun things that we will be talking about at the Mandela Effect Conference. Won't you join us? I'm really looking forward to being there. And you know what? I bet you are thinking what an interesting time it would be to travel, right? November of 2024. What a time to leave home and go traveling. But you know what? Where else should you want to be than in a place where people actually believe in the power of human consciousness, human potential, and possibly shifting and shaping our reality towards a better one? Doesn't that sound good to you? Sounds good to me. Why don't you meet us there? Nashville, November 7th to 11th. Again, my name is Candace Craw-Goldman. You can find me at quantumhealers.com or CandaceCraw-Goldman.com.